Okay, sir, well, I don't know if you don't own the property. Please step back away from me, sir.
Look, she tore it down. She tore down my no trespassing sign. Look, it's been ripped apart.
Okay, well, I'm actually leave, sir. You're not going to the property. Okay, I'm not going to the property.
Tear my sign off back down there?
What sign?
My no trespassing sign.
You know what? I already know. You don't have.
Did you tear it down, I asked. It was laying on the ground back
I
there.
have no clue.
Don't believe you. Well, because I've got proof of you coming on my property and stealing
And the thing is, what are you trying to protect?
my stuff that you stole.
A big old flat area of land.
And
So what am I going to do to it?
you stole my stuff.
What stuff?
The signs off of my property.
I sold the ones that you were calling me names like bitch, for instance.
My signs?
Yeah, you don't call me bitch.
Call you a
Okay.
bitch anytime I want.
Okay, dick.
I mean, fine. Free speech. Free speech. Private property.
Little pecker. Why should you be calling people names? Nasty.
Because you came on my property and stole my property.
There's nothing wrong with your property.
You stole stuff off of my
I
property.
did not.
You stole 2 signs off of my property.
That you were insulting me.
Not your signs.
Nothing to do with you.
Were they your signs?
All right, what were you doing? Why were you doing that to me?
Because you came on my property and you moved my stuff around. You were trespassing.
Your property. Nothing's gonna hurt your property.
It's called a law for.
Property every day.
It's called a law for a
The
reason.
squirrels are running around on your property way more than I am.
Who?
Okay? The squirrels.
Oh, you're
I know. Oh,
you're.
they can't do any more damage
So
to me.
so you're saying you're like an animal?
What is your problem? Why do you?
I'm just asking you a question. You said
why
squirrels
do you have to have an enemy? Why?
because you came on my property.
Cause trouble. Why?
You caused trouble.
Why? I am not causing trouble.
You came on my property over and over again. Over and over and over.
You're putting those nasty signs up.
Why would you?
Over,
Why would you?
over,
Why?
And over.
Why would you move my sign from one?
Because they were being nasty.
The no trespassing sign was nasty.
The bitch sign was nasty.
You were moving my stuff. That's why I put the sign up that
You
said
didn't have any stuff. What stuff?
all my stuff. You moved everything. All the stuff that was here that you moved.
You didn't need that crap out here.
So you decide what's on my property.
You
What
gotta
about
stop
all
being
that?
an enemy.
How would you feel if I came over there and I moved all that stuff over there? How would you feel?
You gotta stop being an enemy.
How would you feel if I moved all your stuff?
There's no need to hate me, okay?
How would you feel if I moved all your stuff?
Back off and be good.
How would you feel?
Try to be good. You know what a Christian is? Do you have any clue?
You're bringing God into this?
Yes.
So you believe in God and you're coming over here touching and stealing.
Come on, you were the one.
Thou shalt not steal.
You started this whole thing.
Thou shalt not steal.
And thou shalt not bear fault
You stole.
against your neighbor.
No false witness here. You stole.
Witness, because you're deciding.
You stole. I'm deciding who comes on my property, lady.
I did not steal anything.
What?
I did not steal anything.
You already said you stole 2 of my signs.
The ones that were calling me a bitch, yes I did.
Were they yours? Then
You
that's
have no right to call me
then
names.
that's called you're a bitch.
Thou shalt not.
You just called me a dickhead.
Yes, I am not a bitch.
You just
Bitch is a female dog. Okay?
you're a
I didn't
trespass.
call you anything.
You're a trespass. No, you stole my property.
I did not call you anything.
You stole my property.
2 cardboards that you wrote nasty letters on.
Free speech.
You can
Private
use that
property.
free speech
Private
towards you.
private property.
Towards you.
Private property. If you want
can
if
face it towards you.
if you want to put a
Yourself a bitch.
if you want to put a sign up that says I'm an asshole, that's fine.
Are.
Okay, put a sign up.
Are.
And will I steal it?
Tell you that you already know it.
No, I won't
Yes,
steal
you
it
do.
because I'm not a thief.
Why? Are you nasty?
I'm not a thief
Why? Are
because
you
you're a
nasty?
thief. Because you're a thief.
Stop being nasty.
You're a thief.
Okay, once I was a thief.
Twice?
The 2 times were on the same
Did you
day.
take the stuff out of the barrel that was in front of my blocking my
No,
thing?
I did not.
That wasn't you. That was somebody else.
Stop worrying about that crap.
Stop whining about you stealing my stuff. Nobody, and first off, nobody's whining. I'm informing you that you're a, I'm informing you you're a thief. I'm not whining.
You know what? Just stop being a meanie.
A meanie?
Yes.
How many times did you come on my property and touch my stuff?
Call me names.
How many times? How many times?
How many times?
How many times did you break the law?
How many times?
You're an idiot.
Look in the mirror.
I'm not a thief and I'm not a trespasser. I'm not a thief and I'm not a trespasser.
Crappy piece of human being.
Why? Because I called you what you were? A thief?
You don't
A thief? The sign said thief. The sign said thief.
Christian, just try it.
Thou shalt not steal, Christian.
And thou shalt not
Th-
bear false witness, and thou
Nothing is false, you thief.
thou shalt not harass
You're a
thy
thief.
neighbor.
You're a thief.
God said, love thy neighbor.
God says don't steal.
He didn't say, hate your neighbor. He
Don't.
said, love.
God says don't covet your neighbor's possessions, which you came over and stole, lady. You came over and stole against your own book.
Get to heaven. See if God will like that. What you've been doing.
You're a thief.
God will like it.
You're a thief. Why don't you ask him?